Okay, I want to talk about seventh chords in general now. I just showed you the 5-7 chord, which is a dominant seventh. It's a particular kind of seven. It's actually the most common kind of thing, most common kind of seventh chord. So if you hear someone say A7, it means a dominant seventh. It means just like that kind of G7. If they say G7 and they don't identify it in any other way, it means that kind of a thing. And not a major 7 and not a minor 7, but a dominant 7, which is a major minor. It's a major chord with a minor 7th interval over it. Anyway, that theory is not super important for at least this video. I'm not going to get way into 7th chords and show you how to play lots of them. There are chord charts for that sort of thing. And if you want to know on a different instrument, you just look it up. But so the main purpose of this video is to have a basic working understanding of 7th chords, and I want you to know that they're not that rare. 9th chords are a little more rare. They're a little more, jazz specific or jazzy specific, and 11th chords even more so. And you create those the same way, root 3, 5, 7. Well, you can go root 3, 5, 7, 9, root 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, right? And so they get more and more rarely used in popular music. But 7th chords are not that uncommon. And here are the other kinds that you definitely, should be aware of. There are diminished sevenths. I don't think I'm even going to talk about those in this video. But major sevenths and minor sevenths are quite common, and they're lovely, and sometimes they just hit the spot. So here are some of them. Well, the most common ones are 1, 4, 5 are your major chords, right? We talked about the 5 and the 7 that it gets, and it ends up being this dominant 7th thing, okay? It's its own kind of thing. Well, 1 and 4, they end up with major 7ths. When you just do a root 3, 5, and then add the 7 that naturally falls there, you end up with a major 7th interval. A major 7th interval, just so you understand, is this. Here's an octave. Here's a major 7th interval. The distance between this note and this note is a major 7th. Now it's right next to the octave. So it's very distinctive. You can't miss that sound. But surprisingly, it kind of chills out chords instead of making them more exciting. It kind of makes them more mellow. It's surprising, but check it out. So here's a 1 chord in the key of C. C chord, right? Now, if I make it into a C major 7, I'm just going to find the octave. Here's a higher C there. Lower it a half step, just like we did with the E here. Lower it a half step. And then play the rest of the normal C chord. It's a C major 7. It's kind of chill, eh? Whew, it's like a lazy sunny afternoon. Now, it can also appear in other contexts. If you play it in different ways, it's going to sound way more jazzy. For instance, sounds way more, just kind of jazzy. But this, you can also find it in contexts where you're hitting it pretty hard. And anyway, that's what it sounds like. F, or the 4 major 7. There's an F there, that small, like mini bar chord. And here's a higher F here. I'm gonna lower it a half step. Whew. Beautiful, beautiful. You can even play it with the C and the bass if you're in the key of C. You can just leave your 3rd finger right there. This is more guitar specific, but there's a C, F major 7 with C in the bass. Beautiful. That's the C major 7. Okay? So, those are some things. Now, the 6 gets a minor 7, and the 2 gets a minor 7. The 3 does too, but that's less common, quite a bit so. But the 6 and the 2 are not that uncommon. Not at all, and they're quite nice. So here's in the key of C, a 6, A minor. Let's make it A minor 7. I just took a higher up A, lower it a whole tone instead of a half tone. Now, do you hear how closely related those are? Think about it. A 6 minor 7 has what notes in it? 6, 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5. So it includes a 1 chord in it. So no wonder they sound so closely related. So remember how I said a 6 chord, which is minor, and the 1 chord are sometimes interchangeable? Well, a 6/7 chord, a 6 with a minor 7th on it, a minor 7th, an A minor 7 is even more interchangeable with a C, in the key of C, that is, than a regular minor 7. Okay? Same with the, well, not in the interchangeable thing, but let's consider the 2 now. In the key of C, it's a D minor. If I make it a D minor 7, it's now going to include a C note in it. I know this is getting kind of technical, but maybe you follow, maybe you don't. Doesn't really matter. Again, you can look this up if you want, but I'm just pointing out how it's even more, it's close, you know, before the 2 chord and the 1 chord weren't super closely related, but it was still a fairly chill cadence to go 2, 1, right? Regular 2 to the 1. Let's do 2, 7. It's a D minor 7 chord. Hear that? Okay, that's another thing to be aware of, is notes that carry on between, even just individual notes, not necessarily a set of 2 notes or whatever, even individual notes, they can draw important connections between chords that you can emphasize in a melody or in a transition. It's all stuff you can use. Anyway, those are some 7th chords. You got the 1 major 7, the 4 major 7, the 6 minor 7, the 2 minor 7. Good to know about.